What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys haven't seen the last video, be sure to go back and check it out. We put in some work on the JDM EF2. We went through the bins, we found the firewall grommets, the shock tower grommets and plugs, got them all scrubbed up, reinstalled. We did the brake lines, the prop valve, wiper motor, wiper fluid reservoir, whatever else that we could have installed that night, we did. So be sure to go check it out. Today we're going to be working on the JDM EF2 a little bit more. I want to dive into the wiring that's sitting inside the car that belongs in the engine bay. So I decided that I'm not going to wire tuck the engine bay this time around, or at least for right now. I'm going to be pulling everything out of the inside of the car, cleaning it up, reluming it, make it all nice and fresh, and then put it back into the factory routing on the shock towers, how it came from factory. So that is our goal today, and whatever else we can dive into, we will. But first, I'm gonna actually take a drive to my buddy Mauricio's shop. He has that Turbo CRX I showed a couple of videos ago. We're gonna be picking up some hot rod black single stage paint because I decided that some of the parts that I was gonna rattle can, I decided not to. Instead, I'm gonna do single stage to make it that much more durable and nicer, because I did prep the brake booster off camera along with the shield that goes underneath the cowl. I went to the paint shop, got some SEM trim black in a quart to spray out of the gun. So I'm gonna do the cowl as well too, so we can get that all reinstalled and kind of paint whatever trim that I have that needs some loving as well too. So that is all we're gonna dive into, and hopefully some more, but first thing is first, let's head to Mauricio's shop. This car in front of me right here has no freaking tail lights, only the third brake light. Almost smacked it twice. It's a new car too. It's kind of weird. Look, they're stepping on the brakes right now, but nothing's illuminating in the back. Huh. All right, guys, so I've been here at my buddy's shop for a little bit, just kind of getting a quick little walkthrough, because you guys know, man, I've been wanting a shop for a long time. It's hard to find a shop out here that won't break the bank, and the most important thing is hard to find shops out here that allow you to do automotive work. So if you guys don't remember the homie, he had a Turbo CRX, and he actually has multiple cars as well too. He's an EF guy, but you know, he's got some stuff here. I think I've shown this before too. It was a running car, but he took it apart to finish up the bodywork pretty much, because you know, he does auto body and paint. So he's kind of going through the whole blocking stages, and he redid the hood and everything. This car has a K24. It was a running car. It drove to my house playing. It was a daily driver actually. And he's in the process of doing all the fab work and everything to finish up the turbo kit before taking it out to prep the engine bay so he can shoot this car at one time. Picked up a new project as well too. This one's pretty cool, man. I need to get my foot wet into the auction, because what he got this car for, stupid. So anyways, got another project on the side, and I came over here to pick up the paint from him, which is this right here, Speedo Coat. And I've been watching Refinishing Network for the longest time, and he swears by Speedo Coat, and I've always wanted to try it. So the homie was like, yeah, you know, slide through, I got a whole quart, you can use it, and then, you know, when you're done, just give it back. So hot rod black from Speedo Coat, and we're gonna be painting the booster and the shield. Hopefully I'm able to do it today, because I've been hanging out with him, and the overcast and the sun's kind of disappearing a little bit. The reason why I'm still here is because I want to help him set up his TIG welding machine. So kind of want to run him through the you know, simple basic of TIG welding, because I also run an Everlast, and you've only ever like messed with it just a little bit. Yeah, I try to learn on it. Yeah, haven't quite gotten it. Yeah, so I'm trying to give it a shot, and this is different. This is digital. Mine is all analog, so I'm also learning this machine as well too, but I at least have the basic fundamental of the settings. So we're gonna mess with this just a little bit, and I'm hoping to try to get back. If I can't paint today, well, at least still do the wiring, and you know, I'm okay with rolling over tomorrow to do some painting tomorrow. Not a big deal. So let's figure this thing out real quick and see what we can get out of this machine. So it's gonna depend on your speed, how fast you roll, how fast you dip. So I always try to do, again, my speed, like you can weld you can run bead as long as the width of your cup. So this is about 1 inch. You can run 1 inch, because if you go any more than that 1 inch, that back weld, it's gonna get contaminated because the shield is no longer covering that span. You know, so normally within 1 inch of run time, based off your cup, I always try. I'm probably somewhere in like 12 dabs. See how the amp went from high to low?
Yeah.
That's me backing off the pedal instead of like completely shutting it off.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you were like 35 to 40 there.
See, that's about where I'm usually sitting at. Okay. And I did 12 dabs on this one, so same thing. God damn. All right, guys, so we spent a little bit of time trying to figure out his Everlast machine. We changed some settings between doing stainless first and then doing aluminum, and so far his machine is kind of sort of dialed, because obviously he did his little research and he kind of went off based some of the other, you know, users of this same machine. So I gave it a little run to see, you know, what it was doing, how it was doing. And first we welded this stainless piece that's like shiny, right? The shiny stainless right here. I really don't like this, but you know, sometimes just gotta rock with it. So I did some beads, some passes on it, and for some reason it just keeps turning gray, keeps turning, you know, that burgundy color where it's burning too hot. And it's just weird because like we have the cup, it's on aluminum right now, so we have this Everlast kit, or he has this Everlast kit, and he had this giant one right here. I don't know if this was like a 16, because this is 12, 14, probably a 16. So he had this giant cup on it, right? And I noticed that his argon was like on 25, so I had to turn it up, but it doesn't seem like the argon is flowing out of the cup, you know what I mean? And when you take the cup off, it's blasting through. I can put my hand like 6 inches in front of it, I can feel the argon, but when you put the cup on, you don't really feel the argon coming through. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. We're not getting argon coverage, although we're getting some sort of coverage, because obviously this would have grayed up and burned out, but it didn't. Was able to still run some bead, and he is for sure able to weld on his own if he was to build his downpipe or whatever the case may be. But he also then told me his argon, he's had it probably more than 2 years. More than 2 years, huh? Yeah. God damn. So this thing has been sitting for a while. He bought all this setup, but he just never really got to like around to using it. And this tank is his first tank, and it's been sitting for quite some time. And I'm sure argon goes bad, because I've actually had a tank of bad argon because I didn't use it for so long. But at the end of the day, it works for right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not back purging, obviously. We barely have any sugar coating on the backside, so it works. It just really comes down to his practice, how fast he's feeding the rod, how fast is he moving the torch, how much amperage is he, you know, not everybody can control their foot. So sometimes when you have it set high, you're full blast and burning through your material. It's going to be practice for him to get it to even weld up in a sense and not like blow out or whatever the case. Anyways, we switched over to aluminum, and his aluminum setting, I was like, you know, I'm gonna run it the way it is, his balance, his frequency and all that. And I was like, all right, well, let's just see what it does. I did this bead right here. Not shabby, not shabby. So I didn't really change too much other than upping the amperage a little bit to where I have it set it for aluminum. And I did do some passes on aluminum, but because it was such a small piece, it gets hot fast, because you guys know aluminum soaks. And I kind of just like burnt it a little hot. That's on me. Like I burnt it a little hot. So I didn't really spend too much time on aluminum because of, one, unprepped material. Two, this thing was uber hot, and I didn't want to waste any more material because he did cut a bunch of pies. But his aluminum setting seems to work, so we're gonna leave that be, and he's gonna have to adjust that as he go. So because we spent a lot of time messing with his welding machine, today he was supposed to be working on his hatch, building his charge pipe. Today I was supposed to be working on my JDM EF2. Because we were hanging out, learning his machine, well, the sun freaking disappeared along with the freaking overcast, right? So that means I'm probably not gonna work on my JDM EF2, and because I took up a lot of his time, I figured let's kind of shift the focus a little bit. We're gonna build your charge pipes. I'm already here. His car, that's what he was supposed to do today. And we already kind of ran through a game plan of what we're going to do with his charge pipe. So we know what we're going to do. We're just going to show you guys what we're going to do. So let's get to it. All right, so obviously K-Series turbo, and mind you, this car has AC as well too, right? So we're working around all of the AC lines and everything, and you know, we try to keep it budget friendly on certain things. So we have an eBay/Amazon intercooler, same one we have on the EJ8, same one Brian runs on his cars, same one on Project Blueberry, works great. So he already modified a lot of the bottom part of the core support, and because of the lines being in place right there, we were gonna go dual back door, right? Typically on all my cars is how I do it. But it's gonna be really tight with this guy. If we gotta bring it down far, this one's not gonna have any space to go up, right? So we're kind of deciding to run this one around the bumper, wrapped around tight as possible. So he's gonna have to notch this part just a little bit, just so that it's not metal on metal contact with vibration, right? And then we're gonna shoot around here, tuck it up close, because you're gonna run fender linings? Yeah, so we're gonna tuck it up to make sure the fender lining can bolt back up. And we're gonna cut this corner off right here, because we're gonna shoot this bend towards the transmission over there, which then is gonna 90 up over the trans to his turbo. So you're running the GTX 3582 Gen 2 turbo that I'm running, the same one on my cars, right? Yeah. And he's running a Just TIG log manifold, same one we run on some of our cars, same one I have in the wagon, but this is one of his first manifolds.
Yeah, probably one of his early ones.
Yeah, he has a full Just TIG badge on it, where his new one is like a Diamond J. So he has a Just TIG manifold, eBay GTX 35, eBay intercooler, and some aluminum pipings we're gonna rock with, and we're gonna make it all work. I mean, we're kind of limited on some stuff, but from what I can see, I think we have just about everything to make his charge pipe. So let's get to cutting a little bit, or some, or a lot. So we made some more clearances for the intercooler piping. So this one got lopped off because it was sticking out quite a bit. And then this one, to kind of give us more space, cut off the lip is about 1/2 inch, so the intercooler piping can suck up a little bit more. He already made the cut on the pipe after I measured it out, and we did also mock up the bumper, so it fits with the bumper. That's freaking awesome. So check this out, do a quick little mock up here. Okay, cool. And then that leg that we cut off, where is it at, that straight piece? We're probably gonna need that straight piece off of it. Yeah, so we're gonna probably lob off this 45 and then measure whatever straight we need to go from here down there, right? And then there's gonna be a 90 coupler coming off of this going up towards the turbo. So a little bit more measurement, and then if it looks good, we'll just kind of like tape it up, tack it up, and just kind of move on to the little more intricate one right here to the intake manifold. All right, so we got a T-bolt clamp on here to kind of put some pressure on it to hold it in place. Got this one taped up. We decided we're not going to run a coupler here. We're just going to make it one piece. So that 90 is coming up right here, and then instead of running a 90 coupler, we're going to run a 90 pipe. And then originally we had a straight, so we were going to use a 45, but then he had this 45 coupler, so off the turbo 45, this 90 piece is going to eliminate the 45 pipe and the 90 coupler and just be one shot. But this is where we got to like take hella measurements and cut once, technically twice, because some leg here, some leg there, but we got to get it from here to there. So if you guys look, right now you said you want this to be straight, right? Yeah. So the turbo has to clock up a little bit more, because right now it's angling down. Yeah, and you only need to tighten up like one bolt. Yeah. Oh, you put the studs in already. I just seen that. Yeah, right now it's like slanted downward.
Okay. You probably see them all over there.
Yeah.
Tell me where's.
Probably like right there would be okay for me. I mean, you can come this side, look at it too. Right, give or take. So. Go on that side, give it a look.
Oh yeah, looks good.
Yeah, something like that, prefer. And it's gonna tuck in more too, since it's not aligned with the pipe right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of tucked up. I'm gonna zap it in a little bit more just so it doesn't move. And don't worry guys, it's on 1, okay? All right, give a nice little snug tug. Oh yeah, we got plenty of clearance. So with a Just Take manifold, if you guys don't modify your stock K24 side water neck, same thing for the K20Z3, you can get this billet one which sucks the adapter closer to the head to give you more space for the turbo. For the heater lines, if you guys look, the OEM one would have been over here, and it gives you better position for the heater hoses for the wastegate since it sits right underneath the turbo right there. You guys see it? Probably not, but the wastegate sits right underneath there. So this simplifies everything. If you guys can cut and weld and modify your factory one like I've done, you can do it that way too, but he already has that and it clears the turbo. We're Gucci. So now let's go ahead and just measure out these legs before we chop it all up, because we only got 1 shot to do this. I mean technically 2, but we're not trying to waste material.
So we don't have to do anything on that side?
Yep, butt it up.
We just fucking... Yeah,
so once these are tacked together and it's like firm, then you can twist this sucker around and get that angle to be less strained. Sure. Straighten it out and leave the housing loose so you can kind of adjust it accordingly. Sure. Yeah, then bada bing, bada boom. So we measured 1,000 times and we cut twice. Yeah. Twice. So if you guys look down here, butt it up, nice and flat. We already marked it. Straight to the turbo. The coupler has to clock just a little bit so it's not all weird angled, and we didn't have to modify this side, so we still have the B-roll there. And again, I've always said this plenty of times before, if you're using a coupler, rule of thumb is to butt it up as close as possible. So instead of trimming it back, we just shoved it all the way in, and it's literally like a little gap between the compressor housing, so that's good. So we already got this marked. What we're gonna do is pull it out, tape it up, and then we're gonna tack everything into place, put a couple of tacks on everything, test fit it again, and if it looks good, we can weld that up. And then, you know, once we figure out, well, technically we don't need to weld it up. I wanna tack it just so that everything's in place and intercooler and everything is not all moving around, you know what I mean? So we can start doing the intake side. So let's do this one real quick. Sorry, I didn't mean to, you know what I'm saying? No diddy. Oh, what the fuck? Shouldn't even. If you guys saw the turbo EG that we did, the Speed Factory intercooler charge pipe modification, I mentioned in that video that, you know, a lot of times when it comes to fabrication, we always sit here, or at least I do. I sit here, I have one idea, and sometimes it kind of changes along the way. So that's what we're kind of doing here right now. So originally, this was supposed to be both dual backdoor, but granted the you know, AC line, everything couldn't fit both pipe this way, so this one ended up going around, which is perfectly fine. We test fitted the bumper one more time, it fits good. So this one, we were gonna go 1-piece backdoor, so that means we were gonna put the pipe directly on the intercooler, which I've done it plenty of times, welded directly on here, so that this is accessible from the inside of the engine bay on this side, right? And we had everything already pied out, we had everything already marked out, and then we were just kind of like figuring out what we had left, what we can use to build this top section. And then we were like, okay, we might not have everything, so let's kind of backtrack a little bit. So instead, we just added like a, I don't know, like a 1 inch maybe?
Yeah, probably like a 1 inch.
Yeah, we did 1 inch over here, right? So right now we're eliminating plan A with the pies and that 1 piece, and we're putting a coupler here, right? And we had to add that 1 inch to kick the coupler out because it's pretty close to the radiator if you look. So now we have clearance because we kicked it out. So we're probably gonna put 1 inch there, weld it, or probably cut. If we don't use this guy, probably cut and use the bead roll, weld that on. And then the charge pipe from here will just be 1 piece to the throttle body, accessible here. So, I mean, if he has a reason that he needs to take off the coupler or whatever, I mean, it's not that hard to take off an EG front bumper to get to the T-bolt clamps. But, you know, I think that's what we're going to end up doing, just to kind of cut down the amount of pies and welds and stuff, especially because we're barely learning that new machine. We don't want to mess it up after spending all these time to like mock it all up. Spend 20 hours to mock up piping just to burn it in 2 seconds. We ain't trying to do that. So this is our plan. Right now we just got to figure out the materials we have to go from here to there, And we're missing a coupler there too, because we need a 3 to 2.5. That thing is hella compact. I need one of those in my life, but it's expensive. Intake to intercooler, the cold side is somewhat done. The last thing we need to do is mock up the blowout valve, which you bought a brand new one from Tile, right?
Yeah.
This thing literally has no blemishes. It probably is just an open box, and you got this for a fraction of the price.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, freaking awesome. You guys know me, I rock with Tile all day. But anyways, that's the last thing we need to do. And because we rerouted this charge pipe in this position, we have a lot of space for a blow valve right here. And you know me, everybody's going to have their own preference. I would like to have it usually on the cold side, so that way when you shut the throttle blade, all the excess boost and pressure exit right away, rather than have it travel through the system. If you're a big boost guy, travel through the system, spin your turbo backward, and have some turbo, you know, fluctuating stutter problem, right? So we're gonna probably put it here somewhere, right? But charge pipe, hot side, cold side, mocked up, taped up for the most part. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna tack it again, test fit it. If it looks good, run the beads through, and the charge pipe system will be pretty much done from Mauricio's K-Swap EG. So a little bit more finessing and probably burn some metal. All right, guys, so I think we're about ready to burn. We just tacked up all the pipes, and they are installed for the 10th time. For the 10th time. And everything looks good. Everything looks good. So now we're gonna burn. All right, so we got the tile flange welded on, and we didn't drill the hole out because I'd rather use it for more of a heat sink and more meat instead of burning through the metal. All done, and we just finished welding the intercooler itself, the extension piece for that 90 to go back to this sucker, then this sucker goes into the intake manifold. So right now we're just mocking everything up one more time, you know, for picture purposes, and probably a thumbnail shot too. But we're done with the charge pipe for the most part. The only thing we still need to do later, when it should show up, the bung?
The bung, by Monday.
In a couple of days. The IAT sensor bung is going to show up, which needs to be welded onto the charge pipe for the IAT sensor itself. And it's probably going to sit like tucked underneath right here. So behind, what was it? Which way is it? So it's going to sit, oh, like this. So it's going to sit right here in the backside. So IAT sensor bung, if you're force inducted, be sure to get a weld-on style and not a grommet style, which you guys probably see right here. Grommet style. That's going to pop off under boost. So we're going to mock this up one more time, guys, and get you a final shot of what we did tonight. It's crazy how our day just kind of shifted a little bit. Sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. My GoPro is on about 29%, so I just want to do a quick overview and then an outro for you guys. All right, guys, so the charge pipe, intercooler system, we got the blow-off valve kind of sort of bolted in place for visual purposes. Dude, this thing is gonna be freaking awesome, man. He's been contemplating about boosting this thing for quite some time and finally pulled the trigger on doing it. I sent in this turbo, same turbo I'm running on most of my cars aside from the precision units, but this is that GTX 3582R Gen 2 turbo from eBay. Works wonderful. Same pretty much setup that was on that EJ8 that we did last year for the homie, and it's gonna work wonderful in this car as well too. But man, today, kind of like I said, just flipped upside down, and you know, for good reasons too. Like, yeah, I'm always fighting. You guys watch the video. I'm always fighting the freaking weather. I'm always fighting trying to get shit done before it gets dark out. It's like 12:30 right now, and you know, coming over here to pick up the paint today, you know, checking out the shop, geeking over the shop, because you guys know I always wanted shops for the longest time, but it's hard. It's really hard to get shops out here. So, you know, I'm hanging out, we're just talking shop stuff, and then, you know, I looked over and I was like, oh, it's already dark out. I'm probably not gonna work on an EF2 today. So instead of going home, playing Warzone, watching a movie, or just slacking off, I decided to help the homie work on his charge pipe, because that's what you were gonna do today anyways.
Yeah, that's what I have done.
Yeah, he literally came into the shop today to do the charge pipe, but then, you know, I kind of showed him a little bit of ropes on his welding machine, and then that kind of escalated to the point of building his entire charge pipe system. So at the end of the day, we still made a ton of progress on the homie's car, man. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one, because I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna head home. It's late and the battery's dying, so I hope you guys enjoy a little bit of heck, 2 EGs on top of that. 2 EGs. If you guys see what he's doing to this, you guys are gonna have to wait to see what he's gonna do to this one. But anyways, we're gonna wrap it up right here. I hope you guys enjoyed the EG K-Series Turbo Charge Pipe Fabrication video here. If you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. If you guys want to stick around for, I'm gonna jump on EF2 tomorrow. I promise myself and you guys tomorrow, next video for you guys, it's gonna be JDM EF2. So if you guys want to stick around for some JDM EF2 content, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.